DiMera may be about to make the kind of move that turns an alliance into a war. On Wednesday's Days of Our Lives spoilers, Salem is not dealing with one simple problem. There are 3 emotional storms building at once. EJ is expected to catch Gwen Rizczech off guard. Paulina Price will be shaken by Lexie Carver's return and what it could mean for her marriage to Abe Carver. And Abe Kiriakis will have to face the complicated reality of becoming a father while trying to protect his marriage to Stephanie Kiriakis. But the biggest question hanging over this episode is trust. Who can trust whom when secrets, old love, new family pressure and DiMera power games all start crashing into the same day? For Alex, the tension begins with Steve Johnson. Days spoilers say Steve will seek Alex out because they need to talk about everything that has just landed in Alex's life. And honestly, it is a lot. Joy Wesley has arrived with Alex's infant daughter, Kelsey Kiriakis. That one reveal alone has changed the entire shape of Alex's world. He is not just dealing with a surprise from the past, he is now dealing with fatherhood, co-parenting, and a marriage that was already under emotional pressure. Alex already feels a connection to Kelsey. That matters. It tells us this baby is not just a complication to him. She is real. She is his daughter. And even though the situation is messy, the bond is already starting to form. But that does not erase the damage this could do at home. Stephanie has just been through kidnapping chaos. She has already faced fear, trauma, and emotional exhaustion. Now, instead of peace, she has to process the fact that Alex has a baby with Joy. Even if Alex did not ask for this situation, Stephanie is still the one who has to live with the shock of it. That is where Steve's visit becomes important. Steve is not coming into this as a random observer. He is Stephanie's father. He knows how much his daughter has been through. He also understands that Alex did not plan for Joy to show up with a baby. Steve may recognize that Alex is not the villain in this situation, but Steve can understand that and still be protective. That is the emotional balance of this scene. Steve may not accuse Alex of creating this mess on purpose, but he can still make it clear that Stephanie's heart has to matter. If Alex wants his marriage to survive, he cannot only focus on the shock of being a new father, he has to see what this is doing to Stephanie too. That is where Alex's next challenge begins. Because fatherhood is not something he can ignore. Kelsey is here, Joy is here, a co-parenting situation is now part of his life. But marriage also demands attention, honesty, and emotional care. Alex is standing between 2 responsibilities that both matter. And Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that Steve may push him to understand exactly how delicate this moment is. Alex has to be careful, not because he did something wrong by learning about his daughter, not because loving Kelsey would be a betrayal, but because Stephanie could feel pushed aside if Alex does not handle this with sensitivity. That is what makes this storyline more painful than a simple surprise baby twist. It is not just about a child arriving, it is about timing. It is about trauma. It is about whether Alex can hold on to Stephanie while also stepping into this new role with Kelsey. And it is about whether Stephanie can find enough trust and strength to stay grounded while her marriage changes around her. For DOOL fans, this is the kind of emotional conflict that does not need a huge explosion to feel serious. Sometimes the quiet conversations are the ones that reveal the most. Steve's warning, if it comes, may be simple. Be careful with Stephanie. Do not take her pain lightly. Do not assume love is enough if your actions make her feel alone. And for Alex, that may be exactly what he needs to hear, because if he mishandles this, the damage could grow fast. Meanwhile, Paulina Price will be facing a very different kind of fear. Her marriage to Abe Carver is suddenly surrounded by old love, old history, and a woman Paulina never expected to compete with in the present. Lexie Carver's return has already shaken Paulina deeply, and the reason is obvious. Paulina witnessed a close moment between Abe and Lexie, and now the emotional ground under her marriage feels less stable than it did before. Paulina is Abe's wife now, that is true, but Lexie is not just anyone. Lexie was Abe's former wife. She holds a place in his heart that cannot be erased. That history does not disappear just because time passed or because Abe moved forward. And for Paulina, seeing that connection come alive again must feel terrifying. That is why she turns to Marlena Evans. Marlena will show Paulina compassion, and this is exactly the kind of moment where Marlena's presence matters. Paulina is not just angry. She is not just jealous. She is scared. She is imagining the possibility of losing Abe to the past, and that fear cuts deep. Paulina may know Abe loves her. She may know their marriage is real, but Lexie's return creates a question that love alone may not quiet right away. What if Abe's bond with Lexie is stronger than Paulina wants to admit? What if history pulls him back emotionally? What if being married to Abe now is not enough to protect what they have? That is a painful place for Paulina to be. And Marlena's role here is not to feed the fear. It is to help Paulina breathe through it. Marlena can offer guidance because she understands complicated love, loss, memory, and emotional loyalty. In Salem, the past never stays buried for long, and when it comes back, it can make even the strongest relationships feel vulnerable. For Paulina, the heartbreak is not only about Abe and Lexie, it is about insecurity. It is about feeling like she might be standing in the shadow of a love story that began long before she was Abe's wife. That kind of fear can make a person spiral, and Paulina is already described as an emotional wreck over Lexie's return. That tells us this is not a small worry. This is a deep emotional crisis. As Paulina leans on Marlena, the emotional stakes around Abe become even more complicated because Paulina is not dealing with proof that Abe is leaving her. She is dealing with fear. And fear can be just as powerful as fact when someone's heart is on the line. That is what makes this Days of Our Lives spoiler so emotional. Paulina's panic is not coming from nowhere. She has seen Abe share a close moment with Lexie. She knows Lexie meant something enormous to him. And now that Lexie is back, Paulina has to wonder where she fits. There is something very human about that. Paulina can be strong, bold, and confident in many situations, but marriage can expose a softer side. Love can make even the strongest person feel fragile when the threat is emotional. And Lexie's presence is not a normal threat. It is not just another woman showing interest. It is Abe's past returning, with history, love, and emotional weight attached. Marlena's compassion may help Paulina steady herself, but it may not erase the question Paulina is carrying. Can she hold on to Abe when Lexie is back in the picture? That is the kind of question that can haunt a marriage before anything has even officially fallen apart, and that is why this storyline works as emotional drama. The danger is not only what Abe might do, it is what Paulina fears he could feel. At the same time, another conflict is ready to ignite, and this one has a much sharper DiMera edge. EJ DiMera is expected to deliver news that throws Gwen Rizczech for a loop. Days spoilers suggest EJ may play dirty in some way, and Gwen could be left reeling from whatever he decides to do. This is where the episode's power struggle becomes dangerous. Gwen has put funding into this project. She expects to benefit from it just like EJ does. But now that Lexie is awake, EJ may decide the arrangement no longer needs to work the same way. The spoilers suggest he could try to cut Gwen out or rip her off, even after everything she contributed. That would be a very EJ move. EJ knows how to use timing. He knows how to shift power when the advantage moves in his direction. And if Lexie waking up changes what he needs, he may decide Gwen is no longer as useful as she once was. But Gwen is not someone who quietly accepts being cheated. That is what makes this face-off so promising. Gwen expects to receive what she believes she is owed. She is not going to stand there calmly if EJ tries to take the benefits for himself. And if EJ thinks he can simply push her out, he may be underestimating how hard Gwen can fight when she feels betrayed. This is not just about money or an arrangement, it is about control. EJ may believe he holds the stronger position now. Gwen may believe her investment gives her every right to stay involved. And when two people with sharp instincts, pride and ambition clash, the conversation can turn explosive very quickly. Still, the spoiler language matters. Day's spoilers suggest EJ will play dirty. That means we should not treat every possible detail as confirmed yet. We do not know exactly how far he will go. We do not know exactly what he will say to Gwen. But we do know his move will rile her up and leave her shaken. That alone is enough to raise the stakes. Because Gwen reeling does not mean Gwen defeated. It may mean Gwen is just getting angry enough to push back. And if EJ is trying to control the outcome now that Lexie is awake, he could be creating a new enemy at the worst possible time. Gwen has never been someone who enjoys being used and discarded. If she feels EJ is cheating her out of something she helped make happen, this arrangement could turn into a bitter battle. That is why Wednesday's DOOL spoilers feel like a setup for multiple emotional confrontations. Alex is trying to figure out how to be a father without losing Stephanie. Paulina is trying to process the fear that Abe's former wife could pull his heart away from her. And Gwen may be forced to decide how far she is willing to go if EJ tries to cut her out of the rewards she expected. Every storyline is different, but they all circle the same question. What happens when someone's place in another person's life suddenly feels threatened? Stephanie may fear that Joy and Kelsey will change her marriage forever. Paulina fears Lexie's return could change Abe's heart. Gwen fears EJ may take what she helped build and leave her with nothing. That is strong soap drama because it is not just about shock, it is about emotional position. Who belongs? Who gets pushed aside? Who still has power when the situation changes? For Alex, the answer depends on how carefully he handles Stephanie's pain. For Paulina, it depends on whether she can trust Abe's love while Lexie is back in Salem. And for Gwen, it depends on whether she lets EJ get away with playing dirty. Wednesday's Days of Our Lives spoilers point to an episode full of pressure, insecurity, and confrontation. Some characters need comfort, some need warning, and some may be ready for a fight. So now the big question is this. If EJ really tries to cheat Gwen after everything she put into their arrangement, will Gwen back down? Or will she make him regret crossing her? For more daily Days of Our Lives spoilers, DOOL recaps, and Salem updates, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned.